guys, it's Daisy Dimandz and welcome back to another Daisy Deep Dive, and today we are going to be deep diving into another Latent Places video. We are going to be looking at the scary, spooky ARG horror TikTok series. If you haven't, go see my other video. I'll pop it up here so you can go have a look. I think it's AI created as well, so extra weird. Yes, please. And today we're going to be focusing and looking at all the scary, spooky horror made up places because I think they're really cool and I think you guys are going to like it. So without further ado, enjoy!
Dead Mall. A spike in latent activity has been measured at the abandoned Diamond Run Mall in Rutland, Vermont. Ministry field agents dispatched to the location have confirmed the presence of several spectral aberrations wandering throughout the rundown shops of the Forgotten Plaza. The beings reportedly resemble teenagers with stylistic influence from decades past. Many subcultures seem to be represented among the group of phantom youth, including mall goth, indie hipster, and scene kid. Illuminated lighting, distorted music, and indiscernible chatter are prominent in areas of the mall with notably high latent readings. Agents report feeling an unnameable nostalgic despair and an overwhelming urge to be drawn into the groups while in their proximity. Local residents born between 1965 and 1996 are being advised to stay at least 100 yards away from the building at all times. This has been a public service announcement from the Ministry of Latent Places.
So this is like a liminal mall, a mall or a mole? I think it's mall. Anyway, there is ghostly apparitions of people that have either passed in the mall or got dragged into the mall, and like spooky ghosts. It's really, really cool that they included mall goth, scene kid, indie hipster, because I remember those. Very, very well. So that was a cool little tidbit in there.
Carmine Manor. These seemingly unending corridors. Blood. Blood. Blood.
Guys, don't panic, but I think there's something wrong with Carmine Manor. What the hell? It was glitching, it had demonic words. I'm not actually sure if they're real words or a real language. That would be quite cool if somebody found that out, but there is something funky going on with Carmine Manor. All the blood could be the problem. I would call the plumber love.
Corporate jungle. Office buildings in downtown Honolulu, Hawaii have experienced a transspatial relocation event. A localized distortion in the latent membrane has turned the bustling urban city center into a dense tropical jungle. Office workers have been given the week off as ministry agents attempt to stabilize the geographic anomaly. The sudden appearance of foliage, wildlife, and precipitation are expected to drive damage costs into the millions. Although no casualties have yet been reported, some corporate staff recounted being lost in their workplace for several hours. One employee described the trek to the lobby as a team-building exercise from hell. Susan was really slowing us down, he went on to say. Even the IT guy managed to avoid the literal giant pit of snakes, but no, not Susan. That's HR for you, I guess. Typical. This has been a public service announcement from the Ministry of Latent Places.
This corporate jungle in Hawaii made me so happy. It kind of reminded me a bit like Jurassic Park, really reminded me of that. Yeah, the second one, when they go back to Jurassic Park, it reminded me of that, where everything is like overgrown and there's loads of foliage and different birds and obviously dinosaurs. I thought that was really cool.
Indianapolis, LP.9524-C could be accessed via the ladies' room of the 13th and Capitol Starbucks in Indianapolis, Indiana. The grisly landscape of this latent dimension is formed entirely of flesh, hair, and other living biotic material. No entities appear to occupy the realm. Rather, the realm is an entity unto itself. Through a combined effort by ministry biologists and geologists, experiments have concluded that the dimension possesses a massive interconnected network of cardiovascular, muscular, respiratory, and neural systems. The various biomes of Indianapolis contain a vast array of organic features that defy taxonomy. Core samples taken from prominent Indianapolis landmarks are currently being processed by geneticists. DNA sequencing is hoped to reveal more information about the unsettling locale. This has been a public service announcement from the Ministry of Latent Places.
I mean, the less said about Indianapolis, the better. It kind of looks like what you think it looks like, and if you have one, then you definitely know what it looks like. And oh my god, like, I cannot unsee that now. It is scored into my vision inside of my brain, in my ocular cavity. And now it's in yours. Enjoy!
Transspatial flood. Multiple laundromats throughout the mid-Atlantic region of the United States have recently become victims of unexplained extreme flooding. The colorful and torrential waters seem to be originating from within the machines themselves with no apparent source. Despite local authorities cutting off access to the municipal water supply, the vibrant deluge continues to surge. The leading theory from MLP investigators is that increased spatial vortex activity in certain areas of the Potomac River is resulting in the diversion of flow into unintended locations. Laundromats are a natural outlet for the phenomenon, as they act as a path of least elemental resistance during transspatial travel. Various minerals and compounds could be imbued during this turbulent journey through space-time, thus explaining the water's strange use and sweet odor. Those caught in the flood were taken to a nearby emergency room alongside those attempting to play in the flood. Both groups were treated for moderate chemical burns. This has been a public service announcement from the Ministry of Latent Places.
Really like this one because it reminded me of 80s liminal spaces, like laundromats, malls, cool little skate spots that people find. And even though it's chemicals, you know, the colours are pretty cool. I'd drink the Kool-Aid and then immediately regret it afterwards.
Urban wormholes. These light-bending anomalies have been spotted in various locations across the tri-state area, appearing spontaneously in low-traffic locations and only at night. The wormholes have been reported to induce a trance-like state in lone onlookers. Individuals may be compelled to approach one of these space-time aberrations. If you are suddenly filled with a sense of well-being and warmth, seek immediate intervention. If you are unable to escape this parapsychic gravity well, then mentally steel yourself for the impending experience. You may be inexplicably struck with awe and paralyzed by a chromatic glow that exists beyond the bounds of human language's descriptive capabilities. Upon entering a wormhole, you may see and learn everything. Upon exiting, you will forget it all. There are no reliable accounts of what happens specifically in between these two moments. The experience is both infinite and instantaneous. Most individuals are able to continue on with their night's activities without significant interruption. This has been a public service announcement from the Ministry of Latent Places.
These are so interesting to me. Like, how can you have something that's out of space on Earth, if that makes sense? Time holes, wormholes, it is to do with the universe and space around it, or the space around it. And I think it's insanely cool that they are suggesting that you learn everything when you go through a wormhole and then forget it all on the other side. That is literally what I do with directions. Somebody gives me directions and then it goes.
Spontaneous growth. Residents of Arcata, California were displaced this past weekend as large redwood trees spontaneously and violently sprouted from the ground around 3 a.m. Sunday morning. Dozens of homes, cars, and buildings were destroyed during the unexpected event. The sudden growth lifted some residences hundreds of feet into the air, leaving occupants stranded for several hours as rescue crews responded. Volunteers and emergency personnel continued to search through the wreckage for survivors. Currently the number of people injured is 113. The death toll stands at 23 and continues to grow as search efforts persist. MLP scientists theorize that a combination of climatological, geological, and oniric factors contributed to the destructive phenomenon and that similar events can be expected in other parts of the country in coming years. This has been a public service announcement from the Ministry of Latent Places.
Now, it's not Oregon. You would be deceived. No, not Oregon, California. All of these massive redwoods popping up in California. Maybe it's like the Earth's way of trying to, I don't know, claim back their planet? Who knows? But then again, sharks are older than trees. So make of that what you will.
Fires. Audio transmission 2129.d.
I should have just laid there. I could have stayed perfectly still, lying on my back, the rough dirt underneath my fingertips, staring into that pale blue void until I drifted back to sleep. I could have closed my eyes right there on the cold ground and opened them back up to be lying peacefully where I came from. Although, where I came from is steadily losing its meaning the further I trek across these dead plains. It's the memory of my former self that gets carried away by the breeze of this strange world. These spires inch ever closer.
This has been a public service announcement from the Ministry of Latent Places.
Now, this one's really cool because it's a found audio log from a woman who's obviously been transported to where the spires are. The spires actually made me think of, now don't laugh, it made me think of Dark Crystal, you know, with the puppets of the gelflings. Yeah, it made me think of that. I am not surprised a Skeksis didn't come out and be like, in the log. And yes, I did just really embarrass myself by doing an impression of a Skeksis. Okay, bye.
Time holes. These temporal sinkholes located in the forests of Washington State are natural wells for quantum foam. Coming into contact with the foam causes one to experience all moments of one's life from birth to death simultaneously and with visceral clarity. Time holes are not deadly, but where within the timeline of your existence you wake up as a matter of chance. This has been a public service announcement from the Ministry of Latent Places.
Well, doesn't quantum foam look delicious? I don't think I'd like it taking me all back through my life, because I am a chronic overthinker and I'll be like, oh, I could have done that social situation a little bit better. Or, yes, I did really have hair like Gollum as a baby. Well, guys, thank you very much for joining me on another Daisy Deep Dive. And that has been episode 2 of Ministry of Latent Places. If you liked it, don't forget to like this video and subscribe because it helps my channel out a lot. It helps me out more than you know. And yeah, thank you. I hope you guys have a good time and I'll see you next time. Bye.